Saturday stat time, and it's been announced. The announcement no one wants to hear. We're doing it live has been announced.
Go ahead, Greg, say it.
So,
We're doing it live.
For those that get the reference, I hope you just enjoyed that.
So just get your whinge filters on because I'm going to be whinging if we're doing it live.
This is easy. It's easy.
Mark
It's easy.
struggles with this. It if you hear a whirring noise in the background, it's Mark's brain sort of
trying to start.
But this is from 125 to 129 yards. 3-part question. No looking stuff up, Crossfield. The 3-part question.
He always says
Best
that.
of three. Best of three. Best of three. So 2 out of 3 to win. So 125 to 129 yards for scratch, 10 and 20 index. What percent of those shots finish 20 feet or less from the hole? So what percent are inside of 20 feet? Scratch, 10, 20 index, 125 to 129 yards.
Inside 20 feet.
Yeah, and this is, maybe this might be wedge distance for scratch players. For some, it's at it's the top end. This is, less than 20 indexes are not hitting wedge from 125 yards. They're hitting
it's a pretty decent shot inside 20 feet.
That's a good shot. Yeah, that's a really good shot.
Yeah, and I'm already looking forward to later in the pod when Mark goes, now, are we doing best of 3 or are we doing overall total, even though the rules have been explained?
Oh, and this was from the fairway, just so we know.
From the fairway. Oh,
now
he moves the goalpost.
Now
from the fairway. All right, Greg, you get to go first. We're going to start with scratch players. What percent of shots from 125 to 129 are inside of 20 feet?
12%.
12%, Mark?
Inside 20 feet.
Yeah.
What did you say, 12?
Yeah. He's readjusting based on what you just said.
No, I'm not. I've written 31%. I'm thinking of readjusting, but I'm not going to. 31.
All right. 10 indexes. 20 from
same
10
distance. Indexes. So it's me, isn't it?
Yep.
I've got 17%.
Greggy.
7%.
Oh, we're miles off. Yeah, this is embarrassing.
And then Greg, 20 indexes.
2.5%.
Negative 2.5%?
2.5.
2.5. I'm 7%.
Okay.
20.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Let's go, baby.
We unfortunately have a slaughtering on our hands here.
This is not good, is it? Should we end? Should we just end here?
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
You could have won. You might have won.
Well, I'm having a nightmare at the moment. I'm not confident.
Greg is what, 6 on the trot right now?
Yeah,
so.
It just feels like a hammering every week nowadays.
It is.
That's the reason why I turn up.
Who's counting? Me?
It's ruined my confidence in many arenas. Like literally, I'm twitching over small putts. I've got hybrids in the greens, which I used to always hit greens, and now I'm thinking, like he's just in there rattling around, and I don't like it. I want him out. I want him out of my stat head, Lou.
Well,
and then you've gone and done a live episode just because
we've done a live episode
all on his terms.
All right, so here we go. It's going to be obvious who the winner is after the first question.
Oh, can you not do it a different way round or not?
No, because it's a slaughtering in every category. It's not even close. So the first question, we'll do scratch players. Greg said 12%, Mark said 31%, and the answer is 33%.
Mark!
Oh, my word! Have I exercised demons? Have demons been exercised?
For the 10 indexes, Mark said 17, Greg said 7, and the answer is 20%, so Mark gets that one. And then for 20 indexes, Mark said 7, Greg said 2.5, and the answer is 13. Mark goes 3 for 3.
Oh,
Crossfield. And well done, Lou.
Go on.
Yeah.
The quiz master just played that beautifully, I thought. Just absolutely played that beautifully, leading me to believe that I got a domination, and in actual fact, it was Crossfield. Crossfield wins.
I was okay with my answers until you said 12% on the first one, and I was thinking, oh no, what's happening here? Because I mean, it is like that's a wedge to a 9 iron for scratch handicappers, I'm guessing.
That's probably a wedge, 9-iron for the shorter ones. Yeah, and a little
you're
bit.
going to get some of them inside 20 feet, obviously 30, whatever, 33%. When he
One
said
out of
12,
yeah,
giving the 20s 2.5 is generous if you're saying 12 for them, isn't it?
No, I thought that was a good staggering. I wasn't upset with my staggering. I was obviously upset now that I've heard the answers.
I would be upset with that staggering.
All of a sudden, he's
look at this guy.
all of a sudden, he's like, Greg's such a loser. What an absolute loser! I can't believe it. Why is he even on the pod?
I don't know if people realise how happy I am at this moment. It's literally made my week. That has started the week off with a blooming absolute thumping.
What I like most about Greg's stretch of winning 6 in a row was learning the phrase on the trot. I've worked that into my daily life, and I've used on the trot in many occasions.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
I'm
so
here
this
to
is the start.
educate Lou in your home tongue because you are now registered speaking English, I think, in that country. So you're welcome.
You're welcome. And like I always say, Mark, I know how happy you are right now because I experienced it when I won 6 times in a row.
But that's come to a shocking end, doesn't it?
It has, but it is always good when someone's joy brings someone else misery. Stitch that in a pillow.
Just something that's popping into my head. I don't know if Lou wants to crunch the numbers. How far out was he and how far out was I?
Match
total?
play, baby. Doesn't matter. You won. 3 up.
Oh, what are you trying to get that kind of information for?
Because it's a bit disturbing, isn't it? How far out he was.
It's disturbing.
My title was 19, 13.
And how close 20, I was. I was only 2% out on the first one.
I don't know. I was like 42.5% out, and you were only a handful.
Yeah.
So I want to expand this Saturday stat. We're not going to do a secondary one, unless you guys want to do a secondary.
No, we don't.
That's stupid. I've had an absolute amazing set.
So, but I want to give context around this. So think about this for a second. Scratch players, 1 out of 3 are inside of 20 feet, and 20 indexes who are wildly different skill-wise than scratch players, they get 13% inside 20 feet. So they're better than 1 out of 10. So there's not a huge discrepancy there. But if we go way out a lot longer from the hole, percent of shots inside 50 feet or less, scratch players are at 81%. 20 index players are only at 46%. So there's this massive discrepancy in shots inside of 50 feet. So that means 54% of shots that 20 index players hit finish more than 50 feet from the hole. So while they do hit a little bit better than 1 out of 10 inside of 20 feet, more than half finish outside of 50 feet. So they have a lot of big misses in there, which really kind of drives home the point that I'm always making, that the big misses are really what's driving score. It's not necessarily all the good ones. It's where do the bad ones end up.
It's the same pattern, isn't it? It just keeps showing itself.
Yeah,
that
in every part of the game. Yeah, it just shows itself up. Yep. So minimizing the big numbers, minimizing the big mistakes, that's where you're going to shave all the strokes.
Yeah. And that's going to be so, with that kind of club, I mean, it's going to be so strike dependent, isn't it, as well for them? They're obviously duffing some of them very short, where your scratch handicapper is going to be consistently hitting some level of strike on the face. And then they're going to have the fin bullets that go through the green as well, which you just won't see a scratch handicapper do many, if any, of them, unless they've got the old twitches, which is, again, they're hard to be scratched with the twitches. It's that quality of strike, isn't it? And it's also as well, I just think it's interesting. My years of coaching, wedge play was always way down the list for what anyone wanted to work on. That you would have to really be working with someone to get to that point. You'd have to be working with them over a few sessions to actually get to a point where you would want to look at that, or that they would want to spend time on that. And it's hard as a coach. You're always balancing between them feeling like they're getting what they want because they're paying, compared to then making them better, which it can be a tough balance, that one. Great, interesting stats there, Lou. Thanks for that. I agree. Your good points there at the end as well, Greg. I'm sorry, but the 6 on the trot has come to an end.
It has.
A dramatic end, some are
It
saying.
was.
I
It's
wouldn't
very
have
no
to
one's
say.
saying that.
Some are saying that.
No
I
one's
wouldn't
saying
like. Some have said it.
No.
That is so true today. So all you got to do is just go. Some people have been saying.
Yeah.
So, someone has said it.
Yeah,
literally.
just you.
Just you.
You're the only one.
And some are asking, and I don't like to ask this, but some are asking because his guesses were so far out, does that class as minus points or not?
Oh,
Well,
wow.
you know what?
Because that's just what some are asking, and I
Some people are
don't shoot the messenger.
yeah. Some people are also saying that that Greg may have intentionally thrown this
No
to
one's
just
saying
give
that.
you a
No
bone.
one's saying that.
I think there are people saying that.
Well, if he's
Someone-
not very good at throwing it, is he? He's gone down before the first punch is thrown in his bout, basically. He
Yeah.
tripped up getting into
Well,
the
he
ring,
had-
hurt his
well-
back and walked off.
Well, he had to be. So going into it, think about this. He had to be that
Let's
far
not think
off.
about this.
No, he had to be that far off because your guesses historically have been so poor. He had to be
Wow,
so
see,
far off to
that's-
make sure you won.
That's where you are just ripping yarns now, because that's the point of his 6 in a row. He's been winning by tiny amounts each time.
I don't think so. It's not how I recall it.
Some are saying that because this one was so...
All I know is some people are idiots and they're all on this pod.
Some people are saying we need to end this pod, and I would agree with them. See you next week. Thanks for listening.